Talent, they say, comes with a cost. But how does this apply to Manchester United players? Well, I am Jimmy Anishilo. This is Money Talks, brought to you by Life Scorebet, and I am here with our analyst, Ayoola, to discuss the most expensive United players of all time. So, Ayoola, welcome.
Hi,
Can you give us a breakdown of the most expensive Manchester United players?
All right, so at number 5, we have Romelu Lukaku, who signed from Everton for 84.7 million euros. I mean, that was when Lukaku was still, when Lukaku was still Lukakuing. And number 4 is Harry Maguire, famously from Leicester City, for 85 million euros as well. Then you also have number 3, Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund, who signed for 87 million euros when everyone still thought he was one of the best talents in the world at the time. And you have at number 2, Antony, a bit more controversial at 95 million euros, of course. And number 1, Paul Pogba, who went from Manchester United's academy when he would have been a free player to Juventus and then came back for the most expensive transfer fee that Manchester United have ever paid.
So it seems like there's something that connects most of these players, being the fact that most of them came under Erik ten Hag, right?
Well, 2 of them actually came under Ten Hag. That's Antony and, of course, Sancho. But if you go further down the list, of course, at number 7 is Rasmus Højlund, the 7th most expensive Manchester United signing. And then number 8, of course, is Casemiro. So in recent times, Ten Hag has been blessed with quite a transfer. Yes, he's been blessed
with... Are you going to call it blessed?
Okay, he's been favored with enough money to transform Manchester United's fortunes.
So speaking of transforming Manchester United's fortunes, how many of these players can we say have actually been worth the amounts they were signed for?
Well, I mean, even from just merely looking at the list, you can see that most of the players are no longer even at Manchester United. Paul Pogba eventually moved back to Juventus. Jadon Sancho is currently at Chelsea. Lukaku currently at Napoli after replacing Osimhen. So you're just left with Harry Maguire and Antony. And when you look at the performances of the players who are left at Manchester United, Harry Maguire was stripped of the captaincy mainly for poor performances. So we can't really say that he was a success, even though personally I would feel like he's one of the better players on the list. And then you have Antony, who just scored his first goal in almost 9 months against Barnsley in the EFL Cup from the penalty spot and celebrated it like the Champions League winner. So these players have not really inspired Manchester United. And even when you go further down the list, you have players like Di Maria, players like Casemiro, who also have not been good. So spending big hasn't really worked for Manchester United because, I mean, if you look at a list of your top signings and the best one that you can say actually still has impact on the club is Harry Maguire, then you know that there's a big problem. So to answer the question, no. These players have not been worth the money that Manchester United paid for them.
Well, according to Ayoola, the top transfers for Manchester United have not been worth it. Do you guys agree? Let us know in the comments below. I am Jimmy Anishilo, and this is Money Talks, brought to you by Life Scorebet.